This video is brought to you by Up, the hydrogen-powered fuel cell. What's up YouTube, Saf here on Super Saf TV and welcome to episode 7 of the Ask Saf Q&A series. Thank you for all of your questions once again. We had loads of questions and I'm going to be trying to cover as many as I can in this video. There was a lot of questions around the whole Android versus iOS debate, so I'm going to be answering a few of those on this topic for this episode. Now before I begin, I did make some videos a few years back about the top 5 advantages that Android devices have over iOS devices and vice versa as well. There's another video, so you can go ahead and check those out, but those are a bit old, so I will probably be doing an update for those videos soon. But let's get straight to the questions for this episode. So the first question comes from Morton, whose surname I'm not going to try to pronounce because I'm really bad at that. What do you like in iPhones and what do you like in Android devices? Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if I was to pick one feature that I really like on Android devices and iOS devices, on Android devices, the one thing that I like is the flexibility of sharing images. With me, I share a lot of images on my social media channels, and the thing that I love about Android devices is that I can go into the gallery, I can pick an image, and I can share it with practically any app on the smartphone. With iOS, it's very much restricted. There's only a few apps that you can share images with from the gallery, so I can't even share it to Instagram. So I have to individually go into each of those apps, then I have to find the image in the gallery, and then I need to share it. So it takes me so much longer to do that, and I absolutely hate that. And that's something that I really think Apple will need to improve on. Yes, we're getting more apps supported as time goes on, but we need definitely a bigger list of supported apps that you can share directly from the gallery. Now, talking about iOS, one of the features that I really like about iOS, again, I'm only mentioning one feature in this episode, is that you have a little bit more control over the privacy settings. So for instance, when you download an app, you can select what permissions that app has, whereas on Android you simply have the choice of either downloading the app and accepting all the permissions that it asks for, or not installing and downloading the app at all. So that's something that I like about iPhone. So for example, if there was a beauty airbrushing app that I wanted to use, and it was asking for my contact details to access my contacts, then that's something that I would just have to accept. I mean, why would a beauty airbrushing app need access to my contact details? No, not that I use a beauty airbrushing app or anything like that. Anyway, moving on to the next question. So Mohammed Y. Kasam has asked about data privacy. Which do I think is the most friendliest mobile OS? Based on that, what I just mentioned earlier on about being able to control the privacy and what certain apps can access, I would say iOS based on that. Moving on to the next question. Yusuf Al Salman has asked, do you think Apple iPhones are best in terms of aging compared to Android flagships? Now this is once again interesting. Overall, I would say yes, Apple devices are a little bit better in terms of aging compared to Android flagships. I think that mainly comes down to the software, the fact that iPhones, Apple creates both the hardware and the software, so they work a little bit better together. You get updates better as well, generally speaking. On Android devices, unless you got a Nexus, you're not going to be getting the latest updates straight away. They're going to have to go through the third parties, say whether it's Samsung, HTC, LG, and they tend to have their skins on as well, so that tends to slow down the device over time as well. And before we move on, let's take a quick moment to thank our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Up, the hydrogen-powered fuel cell. Up gives you instant power for your USB devices using eco-friendly hydrogen energy, and along with the Up app, you can easily keep track of your power and find an exchange point when needed. You can pick up an Up power pack from an Apple store or directly from the Up website, and you can also use the voucher code SUPERSAF to get £50 off. A link and all the details will be in the description below. Now moving on to the next question comes from Xenia Feldman. According to you, what's the best phone for a woman? That's a very interesting question. I don't know how to talk about this without sounding sexist. No, I'm messing. I don't think there's any particular smartphone that's right for a woman. But a woman, there's no single smartphone. It does come down to personal preference. One interesting thing that I would like to talk about is I always thought that women would prefer smaller smartphones because naturally they have smaller hands. Again, that's not being me being sexist or anything like that. But the thing that I've noticed and I've seen a lot of women have is larger smartphones such as the Note series and iPhone 6 Pluses and things. And then I later learned that the reason for that was a lot of women carry their smartphones in their handbags rather than in the pockets, so a larger smartphone isn't that much of a big deal for them. So that was really interesting, and I think that also goes to show that, you know, even though you might have a general view about something, it is not necessarily true. And you know, smartphones come in all shapes and sizes and varieties, and it does come down to your personal preference. Your gender does not have anything to do with a particular smartphone. That will come down to your personal preference altogether. Right, next question comes from Marcelli. Sorry, I'm not going to even try. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce your surname because I'm definitely going to get it wrong. What is the average time it takes you to produce a movie? I'm assuming you mean a video on the channel. It absolutely depends. Something like this is a little bit more straightforward, so it's going to take me a few hours. If you're talking about a full hands-on review, then in terms of production time, you're talking, I'd say about 2 to 3 days. It would depend because I'd be using the device for say 5 days to a week, not counting that, but during that time I'll be making notes and really putting down my thoughts about that device. Then I will put together a script, and then I will do the voiceover, then I'll do all the shots, so that's me talking to the camera as well as the shots of the smartphone and all the different things that I'm talking about. Then the editing, the post-production is what takes the longest time. It takes a huge deal of time just putting everything together, and then that will be roughly about 2 to 3 days in total. Sometimes it can take more, sometimes less, but roughly speaking, that's what we're talking about. All right, Prince Dignity has asked, if you were asked to join a TV tech show, but the condition was to remove your beard, would you? No, I wouldn't. The beard is here to stay, so Saf comes with a beard. If you don't like that, then sorry, it's not coming off for any reason. Okay, Mohammed Gifri, how long do you use a phone for a day, and what phone is it? Right now it's the Note 4. It should be changing soon. I would say roughly about 4 to 5 hours on screen time on a smartphone is generally my sort of usage. That's why I consider myself medium to heavy. Anything above 5 hours I consider heavy. I do a lot of social media on my smartphone, take lots of pictures and lots of instant messaging as well with my family and friends, so that's what usually takes up between the 4 to 5 hours in the day. I don't really make any phone calls. Next question, Umair Mohammed has asked, would you consider doing videos related to gaming in future? Yes, I would. I've already expressed my interest in terms of gaming and you know, starting a gaming channel. If you would like to see that, then do let me know. I'm thinking maybe when the tech scene is a little bit more quieter, maybe in the summer, then I'll get myself a PS4 or something and then start some gaming videos and see how that works. And if you guys enjoy that, then we can definitely do some videos on that. Priscilla has asked, is that beard real or is it a weave? My secret's out. Damn, my secret's out. It's not a real beard, it's a weave. Ah, crap. Anyway, that was episode 7. Thank you for all your questions once again. If you've got any other questions, then drop them in the comment section below and I will try to include as many as I can for the next episode, which will hopefully be in about 2 weeks. We're going to be having lots of new devices coming up in that time as well. So there's the Samsung Galaxy S6 as well as the HTC One M9. So I'll be doing lots of preview videos for that once they have been announced. So if you want to see those first, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to stay in touch and see my updates, then do follow me on my social media channels. So that's Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus and Instagram. All of the links will be in the description below. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on Super Saf TV. And I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google Plus, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below. Okay, if you're still watching, then that means you've not done one of those things, so no. Anyway, I'm just gonna go downstairs. See. Okay, there isn't really a downstairs. Anyway, so yeah.